Hello everyone, I'm Tom, and since this coronavirus disruption started, I have been hosting this vlog to eat beef jerky and talk to you on the internet. I'm not a food critic, so the beef jerky part is silly and pointless. But this vlog has let me explore some fun ideas with you, especially regarding game design, and I plan to keep doing it. Here it is, the 30th of December of 2020. Not exactly the very last day, I think, of December, but, interestingly enough, I had a very good anniversary with my wife, because my wife and I got married on the 30th of December. We joke about tax purposes, but, it wasn't so far from the truth. Still, I'm so very, very happily married, I gotta say. Whew. So, here we are also past Christmas. I hope everybody had a good Christmas or holiday, and I hope everybody has a happy new year. I had a good Christmas, got a lot of Godzilla toys and gifts and fun things, and my share of chocolate and that kind of thing. Gifts to unwrap and stuff. It all happened at my house. So I'm very happy. I think we had a pretty good Christmas. My wife and I normally go travel and see people for Christmas, but, 2020, COVID times, plague times, what are you going to do? And of course the good news is that we're starting to see in America the rollout of the first vaccines. So light at the end of the tunnel certainly is visible for a lot of people, but we got to hang in there and stay safe until enough of us get vaccinated. I'm hoping that we can all do that, and we can all stay safe and not be sad. So why be a downer? This is a cheery video, and one way to be cheery is to talk about video game topics that I like to talk about. And today, oh boy, I want to talk about Disgaea 6. So this doesn't have a cool logo or anything, and it's actually a little hard to tell that these little squat characters on the playfield are in full 3D, which is new for Disgaea. What am I talking about? Well, I, as a game player, enjoy tactical turn-based battle games where, your side moves its pieces and then shoots, and then the other side moves its pieces and shoots, and then, you proceed that way until one side has won. That's, kind of like chess. Except, of course, that there are many games that work that way besides chess. I just happen to be, it turns my crank as a game player. It's one of the things I like. If you like that sort of gameplay, and you like that Japanese animation, I wouldn't even say art style, I would say that Japanese animation. The whole package with the voices and the characters and the silliness and the the weirdness, then you will love Disgaea, the very long-running now series of tactical strategy games. I may have discussed them, or this game, in some much earlier Jerky video. Wouldn't be surprised, but what's going on right now is that I just learned, just today, that Disgaea 6 is in production and will be available to purchase in the summer, which is awesome. I have always really enjoyed the Disgaea games because they have the thing that I most am looking for, which is the turn-based tactical strategy battle game. But then on top of that, they have lots of things that I really enjoy, like procedurally generated levels, procedurally generated stuff, and a lot of complexity and depth in the various game subsystems. In fact, I don't know that any game, in my opinion, does it better than Disgaea in terms of having 20 different game systems, each of which connect with and work with all the other game systems very well. So that's enough. Right there is a grand advertisement for Disgaea. But wait, Disgaea definitely has a kind of a crazy, manic, cute intensity that's straight out of Japanese anime, but goes much further and is a blast if you're into that kind of thing. Just looking on the screen at these what appear to be camping tents in the shape of penguin heads is just a little kind of tiny indicator of the massive weirdness and cheerful lunacy of the Disgaea series. Despite which of the fact is that they have an actual storyline you move through and a lot of cool features. And one of the things about the coolness of Disgaea is that it essentially has not changed that much. Each new version of Disgaea is, like Disgaea 2, Disgaea 3, Disgaea 4, might as well be called 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, because they really are fairly similar. They got a new story, a few new characters, but not that many few new characters. And they the important thing is that each new game very much builds upon the last, so you're guaranteed all the old systems and all the old coolnesses, but a few new systems, a few new weirdnesses, a few new amazing things. Kind of shoehorned into all of the amazing complexity that was already there. So the Disgaea games, they feel out of control. They feel like they have blindingly tremendous depth and complexity. And it's like, whoa, how am I even going to think about this? But the game does do a good job of tutorialing and letting you start off slow. Just move this guy over here and swing the sword, and there you go. You've learned the basics of the game. But again, there's so much depth and complexity built in and buried into the game. And one of the things as a game designer that I can tell you is the problem with making complex game systems that interact with each other is that they are very, very difficult to balance. If you have, 10 different Dungeons and Dragons classes, your fighter and your mage and your cleric and your thief and your wizard and your warlock and your knight and your paladin, and you add all these these different classes up, and they each have their own abilities and their powers and stuff. It's actually really hard to make it so that they're all about the same in terms of how easy it is to use them to win the game. It's very easy to put it in a situation where it's easy to win the game if you use the paladin. It's especially hard to win the game if you use the rogue, if you see what I'm saying. But a lot of game developers try very hard, and especially when it comes to MMOs, you don't have much of a choice in the matter. If you put in 10 different classes for people to play into an MMO, then if you do not balance them, your reward will be, one, unhappy players who would really like to play the rogue but feel like you didn't give the rogue enough love, and two, nobody will really play the rogue because it's extra hard to play. It feels like punishment. So nobody really wants to play that, and so all the work you did making the beautiful rogue and making all the complex rogue-specific things in the game are for naught. So MMO developers especially have all this balance that they've really got to work hard on, and they're constantly working, they're constantly adjusting, constantly modifying, making the rogue better this way, making the paladin slightly less better that way, and it's a very common thing. Disgaea is profoundly complex, which means that there's lots of edge cases and unforeseen game system interactions that would need naturally to be balanced because it's very unbalanced as it is. But the philosophy of the game developers of Disgaea is no, don't care. Who cares? First off, Disgaea has always been a single player game, and so the kind of attitude of the developers of Disgaea is like, you want to break the game? You want to find a special way to make a level 5 million paladin? Okay. No problem. In fact, we're going to let you. We're going to help you. That's kind of that. And it's been wonderful. I mean, that's part of what people love about the Disgaea series, from a game mechanics point of view, is like it's like the developers are challenging everyone to find the secret way to get the level 5 million paladin and do it in 30 minutes. It's just, that's what I mean by the kind of gleeful, manic silliness and absurdity that's not just in the presentation and the story, but actually in the gameplay itself. At any rate, I've played and enjoyed pretty much all the Disgaea games, even though, as I pointed out before, once you played one, the rest of them are fairly similar. You know how to play the rest. And I don't think anything will change about Disgaea 6, other than they say that they're going to finally do the little characters in 3D and not as little sprites against a 3D background. But that's neither here nor there. It's just more of the same, a little bit updated, and I can't wait. I'm definitely going to play it. I'm definitely going to buy it. It's coming out on the Switch in the summer. I'm excited. So, anyway, enough about Disgaea. Let's talk about beef jerky, which is why you're here. Hey, look what I have this time. Baja Jerky, lime and serrano pepper beef jerky. Baja Jerky is, I guess, the brand. Very colorful, but the bottom line is it any good or not? I don't know. It's got a cow with sunglasses on the front, so it might be bold. If you watched this video before, you know that I'm not a big fan of spicy, but I am always looking for bold. And we'll find out whether this lime and serrano pepper beef jerky is bold or not. Okay. Let's see if I can find a piece here that's a reasonable size. Okay. Got a little piece here. Let's give it a try. Okay. Here comes the heat. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. The heat and the lime both kicked in. And there's definitely some spice there. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, it's a very soft beef jerky, not at all shoe leather. Definitely got the heat. This brought the heat. This serrano pepper. Whew. Okay. Well, so yeah, Baja Jerky, definitely not mild. I can tell you that. Looking quickly into the mailbag, I see that it's empty, which is not actually very usual, but that's okay. It's Christmas season and all that. But if you would like to join in the conversation, one way you can absolutely do that is put a comment in this YouTube video below, or comment when I post it to Facebook. And if you want to get notified when I make more of these YouTube videos, of course you subscribe and hit the little bell button, just like every other YouTube creator asks you to do. But that's it. That's that's how it is. I talked about Disgaea, and now my tongue is burning because of Baja Jerky, lime and serrano pepper. What was really interesting is that I could taste the lime a little bit, but when the pepper started really kicking in, the lime did too, weirdly enough. So this is definitely a unique experience in terms of jerky flavor for me. Whew, it's definitely not a mild or boring jerky. I would accuse it, as sometimes I do, of being not bold, but simply spicy without being bold, except for that lime flavor is definitely bold and almost unique. So I can recommend it if you're looking for, a hot and unique jerky experience. Whew. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here, and I will continue to make these jerky videos. And again, if you wish, comment on Facebook or YouTube, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.